Okay. All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shiva David. Baruch Hashem. Beautiful day. And again, we always, I've been forgetting to mention that we learn for the well-being of our chayalim, our soldiers, and the chatufim, the captives, and Hashem should show them a lot of mercy and should all come back very soon, healthy and well. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to continue the Sefira project. We're doing a Sefer Sfaratim Lachem. And today is Hayom Shiva Ve'eshem Yom Shem Shloisha Shavuos of Shisha Yom HaLomer. Today is the 27th day, 3 weeks and 6 days into the Omer. Today is the Midah of Yesod Sheben Netzach. Yesod, so that's Yosef Tzaddik together with Moshe Rabbeinu. And really the Midah of Yesod is the most important of the Midos. Because without the Midah of Yesod, right, purity, right, that's purity, you don't have anything. We're going to see now. So he says now, Iten Adam Eliba. Person should pay close attention. If you want to be successful in the other midos, right? We have chesed, right? Kindness, mercy, right? And then we have Gvura and Tferes and Netzach, right? And Malchus. If you want to be successful in those midos, Sharirim v'Kayam and Lad v'Netzach, if you want them to be always well, healthy, and good, Yesh le'laharbais b'nitzchonos al yitzrei b'inyanei kedusha v'tahara. You have to work on holiness and purity. If you work on holiness and purity, then you can have success in all your other midos as well. But people think that they can just do what they want as far as purity as long as they're doing everything else. It doesn't work like that. If a person is pure, then he'll have success in all areas. If you're not pure, then you won't have success in any area. And everything pertaining to the midah of Yesod. Now, Yesod, we know that we all have an os. Remember we learned about the signs, right? We have the signs, which is tefillin is a sign, right? And we said Shabbos is a sign, and the bris is a sign, right? We always have to have two signs together, right? So that's why on Shabbos, that's one sign. It's an os, it's a sign. You have one, and you also have the bris together. You have both of them. That gives you two. During the week, you don't have the signs. You have your tefillin, and that's the second sign. So he says like this: Kedugma Shabbos, tefillin, ubris. For the example of Shabbos, tefillin, and bris. Shenikru ois. They're all called a sign, right? They're all called a sign. V'yesoidos hadas. Kifi asher zocha lenetzach bohem es yitzroi. The more you work on being successful in protecting the signs, right? You work on Shabbos, right? You work on tefillin, right? We did a lot of work on tefillin, right? We learned a lot about tefillin, and you work, of course, on the bris, right? Again, watching what we see, watching what we listen to, watching where we go, and which people we choose to befriend, and so on. Kach yoda v'yasik is aroich nitzchiyasa b'shar midas. So too you'll have success in all the other midos. So in other words, one person can't think that he can. Well, I'm a master in chesed. Right? The person says I'm a master in chesed. He does chesed all the time, but he has no purity. So his chesed is not really chesed. It's not. He's not doing it for the right reasons. He's not doing. It doesn't have no shleimus to anything. There's no completeness to anything without the yesod. Sharei yesod nikra kol. The yesod is called kol. Everything. It's all dependent on the purity. Al shem shekoilo b'soichai kol midos kula, because it has within it all the other midos. It's not like, okay, so you may think Malchus has all the other midos in it also, right? But this is something special. This is something special. It's really almost like a prerequisite to all the other midos. If you don't have the midah of Yesod, you're not going to really have the rest of them. So all the midos are really dependent on the Yesod, on purity. Yes.
So it's not only the Brit, it's also what we look at, what we speak about, what we listen to.
That's all part of the Brit. That's all part of it.
All part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chazal say the eyes see, the heart desires, and then the person gets in trouble. Right? Nimsa, Masig ubaychin es nitzchoysav in nitzchoydi b'shar midas hayedei malosa b'midas hayesod. So you'll be able to be successful in everything. Again, if you work on the Yesod, you'll have success in everything. Okay, so that's what we're saying today. This is the midah of Yesod Shebenetzach. So if you want to be victorious, right? If you want to be victorious, you have to have the Yesod. And the Yesod is the purity. If you have the purity, then you can be successful in everything else. Make sense?
Yeah. That's a big deal.
I
think a lot of us are in trouble.
Who's in trouble? What?
You know, I have to walk away many times because I'm hearing someone speak Lashon Hara. I don't want to say anything.
Lashon Hara is something different. We're talking about purity now. Lashon Hara is also, that's something else. But that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about sexual purity. Purity.
Purely sexual purity?
That's what we're talking. That's the midah of Yesod. That's the midah of Yesod. I'm glad you said that, so we can clarify that. And today the Kinyan Torah is Einay Machzik Tova Lenafsho. Einay Machzik Tova Lenafsho. Rav Shalom, you have anyone to suggest what that is? Machzik Tova Lenafsho. He doesn't take credit for him. The way I understand it is like this. He doesn't take credit for things. He doesn't do things for himself. He realizes that everything is Me'etz Hashem, and he realizes that everything that he accomplishes is really only because Hashem was able to have him accomplish it. Einay machzik tova lenafsho. You like that or you don't like that?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah? Shalom is thinking about it. You have something else you want to say?
Yeah.
No, you can add something. Please.
I'm just trying to think of come back.
Yeah, okay, he's masking. Okay,
I think that I became aware of that when I had so much success in something in my business that I was doing.
Right.
I said, I don't know how this happened. I mean, at that time, I didn't think it would have been from Hashem. I didn't know where it was from.
Okay. Okay. So that's one. So again, this is part of the kinyanim of Torah. If you want to really have Torah, you have to understand these principles. So in other words, realize all of your successes that you have are only successes because Hashem granted you the success.
So if we really want to reach our full potential, this is a key.
This is a key. Yeah, these are 48. There are 48 keys. Each day we learn another key, right? These are the keys to success. Okay, let's look in Likutey Halachos now. All right? And everyone marked that place where we left off yesterday, so I'm happy about that. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so we're learning in Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Kriya Shema. Today we're in Halacha Daled. And we're in the middle of Yud Gimel. Remember, we're in the middle of Yud Gimel. And we were talking about yesterday that depending on how a person, where a person is in his Yiddishkeit, in his service with Hashem, if he realizes a person realizes that he really has stumbled and he's fallen away from Hashem, really far away, he's crossed a lot of lines. So then he'll need a very big tzaddik to get him back, because again, his mind is all paigim. It's all blemished. It's all blemished because of the different things that he did, right? So therefore, he'll need a tzaddik that can go to a higher place to bring him a tikkun from a higher place to bring it into his mind that his mind can accept it. So the more trouble a person got himself into, they'll need a bigger tzaddik. All right, that's what we're up to now. So we're up to Ki ha'adam ayedei cheto. David, you have the place? Yeah. Ki ha'adam ayedei cheto. A person according to his chet, according to his sin. Hu yored lamata upoigem lamala. This is a new concept now. So when a person does a sin, he falls down in this world. He falls down. We understand that, right? Right? A person does a sin, he falls down. But he also causes a problem up on high. Because don't forget, we're all connected up on high. We're not just down here. We're also up on high. So that means if we do something wrong down here, we're making a pagam down here. We're falling down here, but we're also causing something up on high that also goes wrong. Remember yesterday we were talking about the tzinar. Remember we were talking yesterday in the Sfartim Lachem. We said that Hashem, there's a pipeline that comes down all the time. There's blessing all the time coming down. When a person does a sin, he severs that pipeline. He stops the pipeline. So then the blessing doesn't come down. So what happens is he causes the light from on high to stop. He causes a problem. According to how much damage he's done. Right? According to how much damage he's done. How he's fallen away. Right? Depending on what he got involved in. People get involved in different things, right? Chazal tells us you have to pick your friends, right? Know your friends, right? Pick good friends, right? Live in a good place, right? So be involved with good people. So otherwise, if you don't do that, the person can go really far down. I mean, like we see today, all these protesters, how far they've gone, right? These were nice people. They were nice people. Where'd they fall? They went all the way down. Unbelievable. But that problem they're causing causes also a problem up in Shemayim. It's not just down here. It's also up in heaven. Paigin lamala. L'mashal. He gives us an example. See, Rav Nosson he doesn't usually do this, but Rav Nosson's giving us an example to understand this. Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
The person did one sin. He causes a problem with the light from that world. Because each thing is connected to different worlds. Right? We're connected to all those worlds up on high. We think we're just in this world. No. Remember we talked about when we're davening, right? We're going from world to world, right? So we visit all these worlds all the time. Our mind, the Yetzer Hara, makes us believe that we're just stuck in this world. But no. What we do in this world really causes and changes things up in the other world as well. Some guy did a sin. He did a smaller sin. And this sin only pertained to the world one up, Yetzirah. He only went up to the world of Yetzirah, which is still terrible. All right? So he doesn't fall down that much. You understand? They say the bigger you are, the harder you fall. You know that expression? Right? Yep. Right? So in other words, the bigger the sin, the harder he falls. The lower he falls. Right? So if the person does a mild sin, right? So then that sin will cause him to fall down a little bit. A small sin causes him to do a little sin. It falls down a little bit, and he only causes a pagam in the world of Yetzirah. Okay? But if he sins again, and now it's a more severe sin, but the problem is that when he sins, he's allowing the sitra achar, he's allowing the other side, he's allowing the klipot, he's allowing the husks of impurity to also go up in those worlds. It's fascinating. You would think there's no connection of impurity in the upper worlds, but now we see that's not true. When we do something wrong in this world, we cause impurity in the upper worlds as well. Could you believe that? That's why the angels get upset at us, right? That's why the angels are upset. Then he falls down much deeper. He falls down much more amok, is much deeper. And so too, the more the person sins, the harder he falls. When he falls lower, it causes to affect in a higher place. The same way we said it works the opposite way, right? The concave. Well, how does the other way work? The greater the tzaddik is, the lower the tzaddik can go down without being affected. Remember we learned that? Right? The greater the tzaddik is how far he can fall down without being affected. Nimsa. If someone that made a pagam in the world of Yetzirah, and he caused the sitracha to now enter into the olam HaYetzirah, from the world of Bria, liyetzira kedeshi yitzaya biyetzira kenog tamid. What?
That's above me.
He's going very high. It's going very, very high. He's explaining now. He's explaining. If you reach the world, the light of the world of Bria, right? The world of Bria is one up from Yetzirah, right? So if you reach that light, that it's a comet. Liyetzira, it's sealed from Yetzirah because it's higher than Yetzirah, right? It's higher. We learned that concept also with the mind. You have Pnimi and Makif, that's around. So this is now around the next world, so it's comets, it's locked, it's sealed. Kedechi Yitztaya biYetzirah kenog tamid. V'lo hoya efshalei lekabel shum eitza. Loshav el Hashem ki kishi yitztarech yitzayir or biYetzirah. But the problem is he introduced the klipos into the other world by the sin. So now if he gets his light from that world, that light is going to come in all damaged because it has the klipa mixed into it. So how's he ever going to get out of this mess?
Tzaddik.
Well, okay. He can't get any advice to come back to Hashem. Because when he has to fashion the light in the world of Yetzirah, from the world of Bria, he fashions it into something that's a klala, it's a curse, it's not a blessing. She is kariv l'tzadik gadol kazeh. So in other words, he goes into the world of Yetzirah, right? We said we always go up to one world higher than we are, right? We can understand that. But the tzaddik can go up to the higher world, and he can be mitzvah, the light that the begam didn't go into yet over there, and give him the package, the light from that place. Mitzvah sham. Or the tzaddik can make it for him that it's good and it's blessing. He can fashion it into a way that it'll be blessing. Till the place where he has fallen down. Right? Because we said when the person does a sin, he falls. When he falls, he also causes the problem up on high. But again, if he relies on the tzaddikim, right? If he relies on the tzaddik can help him. It depends if he believes in the koyach of the tzaddik, right? He has to believe in the koyach of the tzaddikim that the tzaddik can help him. He has to believe that there is tikkun. He has to believe in himself. He has to believe in himself that he can fix things. So therefore the strangers and the klipas, they won't be able to touch it because the tzaddik will give him his package from a higher place. So therefore his mind won't be changed over from the truth. But let's say now the person went, we know there's a concept of Avera, Goreres, Avera, right? The person does one sin, he'll wind up doing another sin, right? And he falls down even further. Hu tzarech tzadik gadol v'gavoya yoyse sheyuchal alis loylam gavoya oid yoyse v'yoyse l'tzayer shama or levracha. So now you understand that Rav Nosson has explained to us this concept why in Torah Lamed, where Rabbi Nachman is explaining this concept, that the sicker the person is, the greater doctor they need, correct? When a person has a mild illness, right, he can go to his general practitioner. But if he gets very ill, he needs to go to a specialist. So too here, if the person sinned and he did a mild sin, so he can go to a tzaddik, a regular person, regular tzaddik, and the tzaddik can help him because he can go up to that world and he can help him from there. But if he sinned even further, he'll need that specialist. He'll need the specialist. Because the specialist can go up to a higher place. He has entry into higher worlds. The specialist has entry into these higher places. What's the advantage of having the entry in the higher place? In those places, the klippas don't go. So the tzaddik can take the light from that place and then bring it down to him into his place and deliver it to him, which can bring him his tikkun, which can bring him his repair that he needs. He can bring it down. He can bring it all the way down wherever he is, all the way in the deep basement, in the sub-cellar. He's in the sub-cellar. He's down there. And so too, if the harder he falls, the greater tzaddik he needs. And again, you need a tzaddik like Rabbi Nachman, where he was able to go from all of these worlds, and he was able to come to all of the to bring tikkun for everyone, and that's why the people rely on the tzaddikim. Ad sheyesh naflu kol kach upagmu kol kach ad shepagmu b'chol olamos shel lamala ad lamala. And then there were some that really sinned, and they fell down. They fell down to the deepest, they went to the highest worlds they caused the problem in. They're so low down here, they caused their problems all the way up on high. Ada Or Elyon, until the Or Elyon, the high light. Oh, Hashem should protect us. Shesham Ikar Bechinas Kametz, that's where the Kametz is, that's where the light, the source of the light is. Kiu kametz v'sasam b'chol olamos shel lamala. Ukishepagmu kol kach gam yiridasam amuka mi'oid. When the person sins so bad, he falls down so low. Ad sheyesh naflu l'shaol tachtiyos mitachta rachman litzlan. Until those that fell into the pit of hell, so low with their sin. Then it's impossible to fix them. Unless you have a great tzaddik. He's a powerful warrior. You need a tzaddik that's a warrior that knows how to go up to that high place. Go higher and higher. Ad ein soif, to the highest places. Liyored ad ein tachlis, to the place he can. He can make the light. He can fashion this light, the bracha, in that high place. Because the tzaddik can connect to the place of the keter, which is the highest place. And when the tzaddik connects to the place of keser, when he connects to that place, he can take the light from there. No pagam goes there. The pagam can't go to that place. So the tzaddik can go into that place, take the light from there, fashion it on its way down, bring it to the person, to that low place he was, to help sanitize and purify that person's mind. So that person can soldier on, and he can come back to Hashem. Like we just said, that's the keser, the highest place. That's That's higher than all the worlds. That's all higher than all of the spheres. When we shamhu mamshich, the same way the keser is higher than the than the spheres. Why is that? Because the crown, where does the crown sit? On top of the head. It's not part of the head, it's above the head. So the keser is higher than all of the spheros. The spheros are all below it. Chachma bina das, they're all below. Keser is higher. Shemisham u mamshich ha'or mitzayra isham b'chinas bracha. He can make it into bracha there. Ki begoydel koichai v'chachmasai, because of his great power and his wisdom. Yesh like koyach l'tzayir or gam sham, in that place. He can fashion it in that place. The tzaddik can go there. See, we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, right? When we say the Shema, we go to the Keter also. But we said Hashem learns Torah for the first 3 hours. Remember? Hashem is learning the Torah during the first 3 hours, and Hashem is fashioning the light into bracha for us. Remember that? Right? But if the person is not involved in the Kriya Shema, but he believes in the tzaddik, which eventually he'll get back to the Kriya Shema. But the tzaddik can go to that place at any time he wants to that place of Keser. He can take the package for this person, fashion it into blessing for this person, to be able to help this person. He fashions it good in each and every world. And he makes it for blessing and goodness. Until he can take great advice, good advice. The light can be fashioned into bracha, even lower down. Wherever they are. So that's why you'll see so many people go to the tzaddikim, right? They make the pilgrimage and they go to the tzaddikim. Why do they go to the tzaddikim? Because they understand that they made a lot of mistakes and they've fallen down. And they understand my tikkun is to talk to the tzaddikim, to deal with the tzaddikim, because the tzaddik can help the person, and that's what we mamish believe, and that's why people go to that's why they go to the tzaddikim.
The lower down you fall, the bigger the tzaddik you have to go to.
Yes.
But I don't know who's the biggest tzaddik.
Moshe.
No, today we don't.
Moshe.
We don't know who the tzaddikim are, but we said that a tzaddik, even after he leaves the world, he's greater than when he's in the world. When the tzaddik is in the world, he has limitations.
He's freer with his.
Right? But when he leaves the world, once he's in the next world, and you can connect to the tzaddikim of the next world, the tzaddik he can do anything. Because it's not in this, it's not bound to the nature of this world. So that's why people go to the kivrei tzaddikim. They go to the kivarim of the tzaddikim, right? Right, that's why people like to go, and that's why there's such a thing that people want to go to Rabbi Shimon, right? But there's a hakpada again. No, you don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go to Rabbi Shimon. Right? The government says you shouldn't go there.
The government? Why?
Yeah, for Lag Bam, you can't go. Don't go to Rabbi, no, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Right.
Yeah, I want to listen to
The same way Netanyahu said, before Rosh Hashanah of this year, he says, don't go to the Ukraine, there's a war, stay in Israel, it's safe. That's what he said. Don't go to the Ukraine, there's a war going on there. Stay in Israel, it's safe. You have to be very careful the words the person says.
Right.
Look what he found himself in a couple of weeks later.
I heard he went to the Ukraine.
Who? When?
Netanyahu. This is laughing out loud. This is a big joke. I'm making a very big joke here because it's like,
oh, okay.
Because it's safer now in Ukraine than Israel.
Oh. No, it's not. Okay. Anyway, we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
And that's why there's always a thing. It's hard to get to the tzaddikim because the other side doesn't want you to go to the tzaddikim because then you can find yourself a tikkun. And you see people go to the tzaddikim and then they start doing the right thing. You see it. People go to the kivrei tzaddikim, they follow the advice of the tzaddikim, and then you see that they start going on the right path. How? Where? This is how it works. This is how it works.
Magical.
It's not really magic. It's not. It's more mystical.
Mystical.
It's more mystical because again, the tzaddik can go to that high place and bring you a package into your mind to clean up the mind. That's the whole problem. We have a begam in our mind, and where does it come from? Begam bris, like we learned just before. Yesod, right? It all comes from that. Ki kol ma shatzadik oilu lamala yoiser umetzayer or lamala yoiser hu yochel lamshicha lamata lamata. So in other words, it works the same way. So let me just explain it now. So when you're in this world, when we're in this world, and we make a mistake, we do a sin. Depending on the severity of the sin, is where the sin we fall down in this. We fall down, but we also cause a problem where the sin is connected to on the upper world. So I introduce the impurity of the sin to the upper world, depending on what world it is, depending on the sin. Okay? Now, the problem is if I'm connected to the next world, but now I introduced impurity there. If I take my light from that world, the problem is it's coming in more impure. So what do I need to do? I need to go to the great tzaddik that can go to the next world, where my damage didn't get to yet. And he can take the light from there and fashion it and bring it to me where I am, where I have fallen down. You understand? So the higher, the greater sin I fall down, it affects up on high. The greater the tzaddik is, he can go higher in the upper worlds, and he can come back down over here and not affect him. You understand? It doesn't affect him. He can bring us the package in our mind that's already fashioned into blessing. It's already blessing already. It's not just pure, it's not pure light that's neutral light. It's already light that's fashioned into a bracha. It has all the goodness and the vitamins and all the things and it has all of the cleaning properties for the mind. And he places it into the mind. When he places it into the mind, he can clean up the mind. It's a fascinating thing. It cleans up the mind. It's amazing. And the tzaddik can come to that place. He can bring it low down. Kamuvan kol ze b'divrei Rabbeinu Zal, Al Kain, kol ma shu chayla b'nafshay, and therefore, depending on how sick the person is in his nefesh, in his soul, Yosef hu tzarech Rabbi Gadol shehu tzaddik Gadol b'Yosef. He needs a greater tzaddik. The greater sicker he is, the greater tzaddik he needs, because he needs the tzaddik to be able to go to a higher world. You understand? A smaller tzaddik can't go all the way up. He can only go up a certain amount. But my pagam, my problem affected the higher world that tzaddik can't get to. So I need a tzaddik that can go to the highest place. If I get a tzaddik that can go to the highest place, he can take the light and he can bring it back to me. He can clean up my mind. He can clean up our minds, so that way we can go on the right track. Anyway, that's the lesson over here. Do we understand that? Maybe not.
Well, I hear it,
but
I accept it,
yeah,
and I don't understand it. How about that?
Basically, what you have to understand is like this: that whatever everyone knows, like we say, "Adeya inish benafshay." Everybody knows who they are in their soul. We know who we are. We know the mistakes we made. We know how far we've fallen. Based on how far we have fallen, we know we have to go to a greater tzaddik in order to be able to help me to clean up my mind from the pagam that it was, so then I can go on the right track. And that's basically what it is. Okay, now let's go on. So that was that idea. Okay, that was based on lesson Lamed. If you want to understand more about that, if you have any more questions on that, you can study lesson 30 in Likutey Maran, and you'll see more about that. Okay, now we're going to talk about karbonos and ketoras. Okay, let's go. We're moving on to something else now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to talk about now karbonos, the sacrifices, And then the ketores, the incense, right? The incense, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Right? The sacrifice of the incense and the regular sacrifices. We're going to learn now that the ketores is really the highest of all of them. The incense, when they burnt the incense, right, from the 11 spices, okay, that was the highest of all of the karbanos. We're going to learn now. Zebechin is karbanos or ketores. This is the idea of the karbanos and the ketores, the sacrifices and the incense sacrifice. Because it's brought down in the Zaya, Shesiluka, the karbanin, that the way the karbanas go up, they rise up. Ad ein soif, va'afa pichein, onu oimim karbanos l'sakin oilam wa'asiyah. See, look, the same idea. See, Rav Nassan is puts this together so beautifully. The karbanos, right? The sacrifice, right? We know that the sacrifice is an isha reach nichoach l'Hashem, right? It goes up to heaven, right? The sacrifices would go up to heaven, correct? Mm-hmm. Sacrifices go up to heaven. Some sacrifices went up to some, not all to the same place in heaven, right? Each sacrifice went to a different level. The ketores went to the highest place. The ketores goes to the highest place. The ketores is like the great tzaddik. It can go to the highest place. But we say the karbanos over here, we said that we're saying the karbanos because we're trying to fix this world. Yes, we're trying to fix this world, and people that fell down this world that caused the problems in the upper world by the things that they did in this world. Right? When you do something wrong in this world, you also affect something up in the higher world. So even though I'm working down this world to make the carbon rises up, and the carbon is down to fix this world. Now, Hainu, Kanal. Ki karbanas yesh lahem koyach la'alois lamala lamala. Karbanas have, the sacrifices have the ability to go up high, and they can go up very, very high. L'sakin l'tzayir or sham b'makim she'ein yad ha'klipas yichaylu lagia l'sham. To a place where the klipa can't find its way. It goes up to such a high place where the klipa cannot make its way. Ayadei shum pigam shebola, from any pigam in this world, no matter what it was. Ki hakabanas oilen ad ein soif shu lemala min hakol. The karbanas go up the same way we said that the tzaddik can go up high, so too the carbon goes up very high. How do you like that? The carbon goes up very high. We're middle of Yud Gimel, 13. Okay. V'hei mamshichin ha'or misham u'metzayrin ha'or. And the karbanas also can bring down the light for you. The karbanas also can help you. How do you like that? You say the karbanas in the morning, you talk about the sacrifices. And then before mincha, right? You say the sacrifices again, right? We had the atonement shel shachar and the atonement shel bein ha'arbayim, right? We had the carbon atonement, right? Which was the carbon that we brought every day, twice. We brought one in the morning and we brought one in the afternoon, right? The two, right? So the one in the morning forgave us for all sins we did at night, right? And the one in the afternoon was for the sins that we did during the day. Right? It was unbelievable that we had such a beautiful thing. We had the carbon atonement. Unbelievable. Amen.
But practically, how did that work? I mean, if I lived 100 miles away from the temple,
No, we're learning over here now. The carbon atonement came from the money that everyone gave to the Beis Hamikdash. When you would come to the Beis Hamikdash, you would give them money. They would go into the gizbar, they would go into the collection, and they would use that money, all the people's money, to buy these sacrifices. So you're connected to the sacrifice. You paid for it.
And how did I pay for it?
You gave them money.
To whom and when? Did I have to go
when
to
you
Jerusalem?
when you went to Jerusalem, we used to go to Jerusalem. We used to go to Jerusalem 3 times a year. No matter where we lived in Israel, we went to Jerusalem 3 times a year because it was at the time of the holidays, right? Aliyas HaRegel. We went.
600,000 people, or
yes, they were all. Yes. And if you want to see something really beautiful, you can go over here by a Lazar alone, by a lone shvut, they have derech avot. There's a road, that road.
Yeah.
And you could see on the road, they show you could see on the road where they used to come from, the paths that they used to come. And they went on that very road.
Right.
They went on that very road. There were thousands and thousands of Jews coming with their animals and everything.
Wow.
It was a sight to see. It was a sight to see that a mikvah on the way you could see over there. It's unbelievable. Right here, you could take a trip.
I was.
Yeah, so maybe go there again and you'll appreciate it more. Right? Yeah, we used to go to the Beis Hamikdash, and when we would go there, we would all bring our money, and we'd give money towards the sacrifices. That's the machzor. Yeah.
They need to have a lot of shachot.
Shkalim.
A lot of people who could check
A lot of
in.
people. Shochtim. Yeah. They had a lot of people. Yeah, listen, the Kohanim used to do that. And there were other ones. There didn't have to be a kohen that did the shechita. Other people could have done the shechita also. The kohen had to do the avoda, but not the shechita. Right? Someone else could have done the shechita by themselves. If you brought a carbon and you were a shaykh, and let's say you weren't a kohen, right? Someone was not a kohen. He brought a carbon. He wanted to do the shechita. He could do the shechita if he knows how to do it. Right? He's allowed to do that. But he can't collect the blood. He can't do the service. Yeah. The service has to be done by the Kohen. Right?
But practice, like if there were 600,000 animals there, they couldn't have done it all did they do it over time so that Kohen have people things to eat over time, or?
We just had Pesach, right?
Right.
So everyone came and they brought their Paschal lamb.
Right.
Is that what they called it, the Paschal lamb? Right. I try to remember these things. Okay. They brought the Paschal lamb. Everyone brought one, right? For the family, depending on what the rules were. If you had a small family, so it was maybe two people brought it together. They grouped together with it, right? But there were a million animals.
Right.
Right? There must have been 1 million animals, Paschal lambs. Right? And we know the way they did it. They used to do it in 3 sections. Right? They used to, on Erev Pesach, they used to open up the Beis Hamikdash, right? They opened the doors, people would go in, and then they would close the doors. They would close the doors and they would do the shechita. It was unbelievable. The Gemara explains that they actually used to have, the Kohanim, there was so much blood. There was so much blood. The Kohen also, it's amazing. We get off the tangent here. It's unbelievable. The Kohen had to make sure his garments were never soiled.
Right.
The Kohen's garments had to always be clean. They couldn't be soiled. If they were soiled, he did the avoda, it's possible. He would disqualify the avoda if his garments weren't perfectly clean.
But they were up to their knees in blood, though.
No, so what they used to do was they used to set up wooden beams. They used to put wooden beams along to make like a little road of wooden beams. They used to set up in the Beis Hamikdash where they had to walk to the base to the mizbeach. They used to have like railroad ties. Yeah, something like that, like tall wood planks that would be higher than the blood, and they would walk on that. So therefore, they wouldn't get into the blood, because if their garments touched the blood, it would disqualify them. It would disqualify the avodah. Oh, good morning, Yanni. Your cookies are still here. They took them out of the refrigerator.
But
the simcha goes on. See that? Yeah.
But they couldn't, if they shechted all of that meat in that one day.
Yeah.
If they could somehow do that.
They did it. What do you mean somehow? They did it.
But then wouldn't it go bad?
Everyone took it back with them.
Oh, they took it back with them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
every family took they took it back and they had to roast it and they did their thing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But they left some for the Kohanim to eat somehow.
No, not from the carbon Pesach. No, not from the carbon. If you brought a chatas, let's say you brought a chat, someone made a mistake and they brought a chatas. So a part of that would go to the Kohen. The Kohen would get that. And his family can eat it as well. It wouldn't just be the Kohen himself. It could be the family also. All right? Okay. So Mitzayin. So basically, we're saying here that we're Mila Yud Gimel. Okay? we're saying like this: the same way we said that the tzaddik, the greater the tzaddik is, the tzaddik can go to a higher place to take the light, to bring it back, the package for the person, to clean up his mind, to make him go in the right way. So to the karbanas, they go up high. The karbanas go up very high. They can also go to these places and cause a fixing for the person's mind. Sham lamala umeshabrim koyach haklipas, and the koyah. And we said when a person does a sin down in this world, so he thinks he's only affecting something in this world, but that's not true. He's affecting problems up in the next world. He's introducing the klipa from this world into the next world. Unbelievable. We think we do something in this world, it's only here. It's not true. Everything in this world is connected to the next world. It's like we keep learning about. When we pray, we go from one world to the next world. We're always going into the next world. So when we do something here, it causes an effect here. But the carbon is so strong, the carbon can shatter the klipa that's up there. I introduced the chas v'shalom klipa to the next world, right? They brought a klipa in the next world, right? When I say the parsha of the karbanis, the sacrifices, that's so powerful, the karbanis can break the klipa that I brought up into the next world. Saying the karbanot, it's so beautiful. That's the reason why I like davening in the Severity shul, because they actually say karbanos by mincha. I haven't found another shul. There's no other shul here that says karbanos by mincha in the front. I never saw it. Even here at Shira David, they don't say, they don't believe. It's in the siddur. Yeah, I know it's in, but no one says it.
I do.
Oh, you say Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
But no one else is saying it. Somewhere in the
No, but in that shul over there, it's great. They have a designated guy. He reads it out loud.
Yeah. Where is
it? In all Sephardi shuls, they do that, right? Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
And how do they pick who's the guy that's going to read?
They just do it randomly.
Oh, so one guy just starts reading and that's it. He's the guy.
Yeah.
The one who committed the biggest sin that day.
They say they try to get to Ashrei on time, so whoever's there just say it.
Oh, he just starts it and then...
You could start it too.
No, that's okay. I say it myself. I do my own thing.
Yeah, I've never seen an Ashkenaz shul, not just here, but anywhere doing it. Have you?
No.
No. Yeah, when I daven at Eish Kodesh by Rabbi Weinberger starts, he doesn't start with Ashrei. It's Vaydaber Hashem Moshe. There's no such a thing. In Eish Kodesh, they'll start without saying karbanos.
Without saying karbanos, yeah.
They always say karbanos. In Chassidish, yeah, they do, yeah. No, but I'm saying here in Efrat, I haven't seen a shul that says karbanos except for the Severity shul. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't go to all the shuls, but
you don't need a minion.
You don't need a minion. You can say it yourself.
Get there early, say it yourself.
5 minutes early and say it yourself.
Yeah, but that's what we do. That's what I do.
In Imlamed schools, all the Ashkenazi shuls, everybody says karbanos at home before they get to shul.
They do, okay, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay, but they don't do it in the tzibur. Okay, they're not doing it in the tzibur. It's not a...
I do it at home.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, but that's a nice little place. It's a very special place. By Zayat Renan, the Sephardi shul underneath, downstairs. Yeah, downstairs, very nice.
Rabbi Efrat.
Yeah, Rabbi, his name is Rabbi Efrat. He's a special guy.
Big Talmid Chacham, yeah.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Koyach HaKlipot. Rabbi Efrati and Efrat. Isn't that nice? He's really a befitting rabbi for this. He has the same family name as his town. Baruch Hashem. Koyach HaKlipos. Ad shemayridin ha'or lamata. It can bring that light down. The carbon can do the same thing. When you say the carbonis, it's an amazing thing that it can cause you, it can help you so much. That's why there's such a thing that the carbon, there's no Beis Hamikdash anymore. Why people think they say stupid things? Oh, Mashiach will come. I'll say that we'll deal with the carbonis then, right? People say things like, but we can say the carbonis. It's so important.
And then they're saying when the Mashiach comes, we won't have to say it then.
Okay. Oh, lamata. Umadilin umeshabrin. Look at this. Umadilin umeshabrin kol haklipas vasitra achra hanechazan afilu boilam asiya shesham achizosam meyoisem. The klippas really have, the husks of impurity have their hold in this world more than the next world. We introduce them to the next worlds, but they really have their hold in this world. They really have no place in the other world. right? We bring them into the other world, but it's way out of character for the other worlds. We introduced it there. So it's easy for the carbon to break it in that place. But it also comes down, the carbon brings it down, because the carbon goes up, right? The carbon, when you bring a sacrifice, the sacrifice goes up, right? It goes up. But it also comes back down to us with the blessing. It brings the blessing back down to us. It's not just a one-way trip. It's a round trip. The carbon goes up and it comes back down to give us the blessing. And all you need to do is say the words. Isn't that so beautiful? Chazal say, if you say the words, as if you brought the carbon. Isn't that so beautiful? If you believe in the words of the rabbis, right? So the rabbis say, if you say the words of the carbon chatas, it's as if you brought a carbon chatas. If you say the words of the carbon atonement, it's as if you brought the carbon atonement. Isn't that so beautiful? Could you imagine?
I have a question.
Listen, can I ask you something? If you had to go out today and buy these animals, right? They're expensive, right? They're expensive. Could you make the money? Within the? Let's say it takes you to say carbonate 5 or 6 minutes. Can you make in 5 or 6 minutes the amount of money that you can to purchase all of those animals? I don't think so.
Cheaper
No,
way to.
there's one.
Huh?
When you say the carbonas, let's say for the carbon atonement,
Yeah.
so that's okay because you gave it half a shekel.
Yeah. Okay, I understand, but we didn't get.
You know, is that somebody told me, and I try to do this. If they don't have time to say carbonas, at least they say that one.
Atonement.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main one. Mincha is again. The whole point of mincha is in lieu of the carbon atonement, right? So the whole thing is about the carbon atonement, right? And the ketoris is also very important, right? They brought the ketoris in the afternoon, right?
We're saying here that the tourists.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Wait. You. Come on, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm telling you, he has the English book there. Kigam oisam. Because the carbonates have so much power, they can break the klipa. Al yedei oitzam ha'or shemshichu milamala, because they collect that great light up on high. They collect great light. The carbon goes up high, it creates great light, it's mitzayir, it fashions it into blessing down in this world. Milamala bebechinas tzio levracha, it makes it into a blessing. Bezebechinas ketoris shehu hamufchar mikola karbonas. The carbon, the ketoris, the incense carbon, right? The sacrifice of the incense was higher and the most choice. It was the choicest of all of the carbonas, all together. The most choicest one of all of them. Is that amazing? That's why we say the pita makatorit, right? It's so important because that's the highest carbon. What?
No, I just.
Ki ketoris oila lamala mikola karbonas, because the ketoris goes up higher than all of the carbonas, right? In the same way, like the tzaddik, we said, you have a great tzaddik, the greatest tzaddik can go to the highest world. He can make his way up all the way to the world of the Keser, the world of the crown. That place where the crown is, where in that place, that's the highest place that the klipa can't get to, right? The world with the crown, the world of the crown, the Keter. That world that no klipa can get to, because the klipas only stay within the spheros. The klipas can only stay within the 10 spheros. The klipa can't go out of the confines of the spheros. But the keser is higher. The crown is higher than the sphera. Right? You wear a crown is above the head. It's not part of the head. It's above the head. Right? The crown is above. It's above. It goes to that high place.
So this is what we said, we have the spirit at every level.
Yes. Every sphera, every sphera has the set of spheres within it.
Yeah.
Right? Each sphera has the set of spheres within it, like we're doing now in Sefira, right? This today's day is Yesod Shebenetzach, right? So that's the Yesod of Netzach, right? Then we're going to have Malchus of Netzach, and then we start the Sefira of Hod, right? Then we do Chesed Shebehod, Gevurah Shebehod, Tzvera Shebehod. We're going to go through it the same way.
So that goes on to infinity then, in a sense.
Yes, it does. Ad shemitzayer ha'or l'toiva l'mala. It can fashion the light in that highest place, the highest place of Keser, the crown. That highest place, it can fashion the light there that no klipa was able to get there. That's the point. So it comes back pure, brings you back very pure light, the ketoris. Ad shemachnia bo umevatel imke haklipas umaitzi kol nefashos v'chol netzitz kedoshim misham. It can grab everyone out. It can pull everyone out of the mess. It can get everyone out of whatever blemish a person has in his mind. Right? Whatever we've done to blemish our minds, the Ketores is such a powerful thing. Say those beautiful words of the Ketores. Right? Did you ever see? Did you ever see all the Ketores?
All of them.
The spices.
Oh, no.
I have to bring in. I have my thing came. I got in New York at the museum. They have a thing where I bought a set of Ketores where it has in a jar each one of the 11 spices. Yeah, you never saw that before? I'll bring that in. It's a school to have that.
You don't open it, right?
No, you could open it if you want. Yeah, you could open them and smell them.
You can mix them together.
Don't mix them together, but they're separate. They're in separate jars. They're in separate jars.
I heard something that you
Yeah.
get in Jerusalem at the near the wall of the store that's near there. I thought.
Yeah. You can get it there too. Yeah. In the hotel, in the what do they call it?
Hotel store or whatever.
What do they call the Mechon HaMikdash? They probably have it.
The market.
No, Mechon HaMikdash. There's a
Temple Institute.
the Temple Institute. That was the word. Yeah.
Temple Institute. The Temple Institute.
Yeah, so you could probably get a set of the Ketoret over there. It's a beautiful thing to have. All right, anyway. Machnia mevatel umke aklipas maitzi kol nefashos. Look what it says. It could take all nefashos. Look at maitzi kol hanefashos. See that word kol? Well, it's all inclusive, all souls. All we need to do is believe in the power of the Ketoros. The same way you have to believe in the power of the tzaddik, right? You have to believe in the tzaddik, right? You have to believe in the tzaddik. You have to believe in the karbonos. Right? You have to believe when you say these words, this is helping, this is doing a tremendous thing. Right? You have to believe it. It's all about the belief, the emunah that the betachon a person has in what he's doing. Right? You have to believe in what you're doing. And it could take all nefashos, v'chol netzitzes hakadusha shemisham, shezeh soid achar asa samane haketoros, the 11 different spices of the ketoros. Oh, the 11 spices. Hainu. Shekol ma she'oilin lemala yoiser v'yechoilin l'sakin l'kedusha she'nafla l'umke aklipis b'yoiser. Because the higher it goes, the lower it can go. The higher up it goes, it can get light from a pure place. The highest place where it's pure, the light's pure. We didn't bring any klipa there. The light is pure. It can come all the way back down to purify and clean up everybody. That's why we have to connect to the great tzaddikim, because the great tzaddik is compared to the ketoros, because both of them, the tzaddik goes up to the great to the olam haketer, right, to the world of the crown, and so too does the ketoros go up to it. So they're really one of the same. The tzaddik and the ketoros is really one of the same. And that's why we know that when Moshe Rabbeinu was up in Shemayim, right? We spoke about that, right? Moshe Rabbeinu went up to heaven to get the Torah, right? The 40 days that Moshe went up to Shemayim to get the Torah. So he met the Satan over there. And the Satan was so amazed that a human being was able to be in heaven. Like, what are you doing here? You're a human being. You belong down in the world of Asiyah. In that world down here, what are you doing all the way up over here? So Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, grab onto my kisei. Don't worry. Moshe Rabbeinu was scared. He was scared of the Satan. Because he realized, what am I doing here? So Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, grab onto my kisei hakavod. Grab onto the kisei hakavod. And he did. So then the Satan was so amazed at this whole thing. The Satan said, I want to give you a present. And what was the present that he gave him? He said that the Malach HaMavis, which is the same as the Satan, is the same angel, right? The only thing that can stop me is the Ketoros. The Ketoros can stop me. It's the only thing that can stop me. So if there's ever a problem going on, then you should say the Ketoras. That's why the Tzaddikim said when the COVID came, remember they said, make sure you say the Ketoras. Remember that? They said it's a schooler, right?
Remember.
Right?
When COVID came?
When COVID came around.
I didn't
You didn't know that? No, they said there should be mechazik in the Ketoras.
That's why they didn't need a mask.
Because if you say the Ketoras, it wards off the Malach HaMavos.
I started being very makpid with saying Ketorah when my grandfather, as a tzal, told me it was a big segula for Parnasa to say every word.
Yeah,
From
okay.
that point on,
Every word
that's
of
all,
what?
that was all I needed
Of
to hear.
Ketoras?
Yeah. Well, the
was
Kaf
like-
HaChaim said how
20
great
or
it is.
something, 19 or 20. From that point on, I started saying it 3 times a day.
Wow.
Which is
Saying
hard
what?
to do anyways, but sometimes you're like, I don't have to say it. But
What were you saying 3 times a day?
Ketoret.
To Maktorah.
Is there a third time we're supposed to say?
Yeah, you say it before in the Kabbalah in the morning, then
Yeah.
you say it again by Ein Kelokenu, and then by Mincha.
Oh, okay.
3 times. 3 times the Ketoras every day. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Because
There are a lot of
again,
segulas, they say.
no, because again, because 3 is important, right? Because it's Chachma being a das. It cleans up the mind. Right? It really is cleaning up the. But your grandfather was a very wise man. See, if your grandfather would have told you it's great for your mind and it's great for that, okay, all right. But he told you it's good for Parnasa. Oh, Parnasa, okay, I'm in.
So,
He was a smart man.
Yeah.
You see
Well,
that,
I didn't
right?
need to hear- I
What?
didn't need to hear anything else.
No, but it's amazing. It's amazing. You see what like we learned that at Tzaddikim, I'm sure your grandfather was a great tzaddik,
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah.
So again, the tzaddik understands how to get to the person's mind.
Right.
He understands. So what am I going to tell him? How am I going to tell it to him that he'll understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Is that your father's father?
Yes. Yeah, the Timony and the Timony.
so is it okay to say that for knowing we'll have the benefit of that protection? Is that like fear of Hashem? It's like, if I don't do this, I'm going to. Because
You
when
could-
we
you could do
learn,
that, yes.
when we learn, we're supposed to do it for the sake of learning, right?
Yes.
Is this different?
No, this is when. No. This is what we're learning is. This is what's actually happening when you say the Ketoret.
When you pray.
When you pray, when you're saying the Ketoret, when you're reading the words of the Ketoret, this is really what's going on behind the scenes. Isn't that beautiful? What's going on behind the
Even
scenes?
if my intention for saying them is not exactly in alignment with Hashem's Ratzon. I'm trying to get that into my brain.
Well, before you pray, you're always supposed to say that you want to connect your words to unify God's name and all of that, right? So that's what you're really trying to do, right? That's what we're trying to do, right? Okay. Amazing. Yeah, the great people. You see that? They know. They know. Baruch Hashem.
Tzaddik grandpa.
Huh? Yeah. Baruch Hashem.
Your tzaddik father too.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, it was nice I got to see your father on Shabbat Hashem. Zeh bechinas Yom HaKippurim. This is the idea of the Yom HaKippurim. Look at this. Look how he connects this now. It's so beautiful. Shaz nichnas hakohen gadol lifnai v'lifnim. We know that Yom Kippur, the Kohen, on the day of Yom Kippur, right? The day of Yom Kippur, the Kohen went to the Holy of Holies. That was the only time he was able to go there, right? It was never, all year long, no one can go into the Holy of Holies. And only on Yom Kippur, one day by the Musaf prayer, right? By the time he was doing the Musaf, that time is the only time that the Kohen was able to go into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, in the Holy of Holies.
With strings attached.
No, they put a string on his foot because well, that was because, okay.
Yeah.
What? He went into the Kedah. No, he's saying about the string they put him because these Kohanim used to they thought it was a great honor and they would pay for it. But which is mind-boggling to me. If the guy knew himself that he has a messed up mind and he's messed up, right? And he was just going to pay the money, and then they tie the thing to his foot, he still goes in. What does he think? What did he think? I don't understand it.
It's like Korach, he's not thinking.
So I thought
He thinks he's above it all.
No, I got it, but David, but then they took that string like Mordechai said, and they tied the rope to his foot,
And one
right?
after another one died. I mean,
And then sent another one, he died, they pulled him out.
I'm sure there were some of those Kohanim that when they came with the string. I said, no, I don't need that.
Oh, I don't need that, huh?
I'm sure there were people like that.
Wow. Okay, v'ima ketayres lechaper al b'nei Yisrael. So why did he do that? He went into that Holy of Holies to bring forgiveness for the whole Jewish people, for all of the Jewish people. That's what he did. He went in there. Okay. If you want to see more about that, you understand it, you can look on in the Musaf of Yom Kippur, and you can read the notes in your Machzor on the Ketoris, that when the Kohen brought it into the Beis Hamikdash, right into the Holy of Holies. Hainu. Kol ma shetzrichen lahamshich kapora v'sikin li'esnoitzitzuz, right? Be'umkei aklipas yoyser tzrichen la'alis lamala b'yoyser yetera yoyser. Has to go up much higher. Because again, the lower the people have fallen, you have to go to a higher place in order to get the rectification, to bring the rectification from the higher place. Al kein b'yoyim ha'kipurim. Shayat Sarach HaKohen Gadol L'chaper Al Kol B'nei Yisrael. On Yom Kippur, the Kohen was working on bringing forgiveness, right, rectification for all the Jewish people. He was working on behalf of the entire nation. Al Kol HaChatoyim, on all their sins, V'avonos, V'apeshoyim, and their willful sins, inadvertent sins, willful sins, right? Shegormu liyered leumke aklipas, that caused them to fall into the husks of impurity.
Is this
Kas v'shalom.
we said he can pull us out?
No, that's good.
Or is that a different?
No, that's something else. Al kein hayatzarech la'alois lamala lamala yoiser. Well, no, it is and it's not. The tzaddik, Rabbi Nachman can go to the lowest place because he's in the highest place.
Right.
So he can go and pull the person out. Yes, so you could say yes. Okay. He can go to the higher place. He went to the Holy of Holies. Now we know that the Kohen Gadol was the holiest person of all the people, right? He was the holiest person. He was supposed to be anyway. Right? I think when Aharon and Kohen went in, and when Elazar Kohen went in, they were the holiest of the people. Right? Those were true Kohanim, right? Right? When they went in. Right? When they went in on behalf of the Jewish people to bring rectification, forgiveness for all the sins of all the Jewish people. Sha'az nichnas l'makim shenichnas l'kedusha al yoyna v'gavoya ma'oid ma'oid. He went to the highest place that's higher than all the worlds. Again, we said the Kether, the crown, is higher than all of the worlds. Right? The worlds are all within the confine, but the Kether is higher than all of the worlds. No one was able to be even in the Oel Moed. Right? No one was able to be in the entire Beis Hamikdash. They couldn't even be in the Oel Moed. They couldn't be there even during the time that the Kohen was doing his avoda. No other Kohanim could be in the Oel Moed. They couldn't be in there. Right? Even high people couldn't go lehechin nichnas haKohen Gadol, where the Kohen Gadol went, that high place. The chol zeh kedei lechaper al kol chatoyim, in order to forgive the Jewish people on all the sin. Kedei lesakin oisam shenaflu leumkei aklipas, to forgive those that fell to the deepest depths of impurity. So let's finish up the piece now. The tzaddik ha'emes hu gadol yoysa afilu min ha'kohen gadol. Look at this now. The tzaddik. So you say, wait a second, but we don't have a kohen gadol today. We don't have the kohanim really today that are on that level that go lefnai in the thing. We don't have Beis Hamikdash. But the Zayah says that really the tzaddik is greater than even the kohen gadol. Shenichnas lefnai k'may shamar b'seinu zal. Right, as also the Gemara says in the Masechta Saitan, Daf Daled Amud Beis, Yikarehi mipninim. The tzaddikim are greater than even pearls. The tzaddikim are greater than anything. The tzaddikim are greater. They're greater. Mikoyin Gadol shenichnas lefnai v'nefnim. They're greater than even the Kohen Gadol that went into the Holy of Holies. Ki yesh avera shegam haKohen Gadol eina yochel lechaper aleihem b'yom kippurim. Because there were sins, certain sins that the Kohen could not affect us forgiveness on Yom Kippur for K'may Shomer B'Seinu Zal in Yuma Sheyesh Avera Sheyom Kippur Yom Kippurim Toila Umisa Mechaperes. There are some sins. The Gemara says in Yuma that there are some sins that a person does, and he so to say he doesn't get forgiveness for them, but they go and they're suspended. The sin is suspended and it gets forgiven upon the person's death. Right? We know there are certain sins that a person gets forgiveness from because of death itself. Death brings forgiveness. Death brings forgiveness. Okay? Aval hatalmid chacham ha'emes yochal lichnois oid lifnim yoyse v'yoyse v'lahamshich kapara v'tikin gam lahem. But the tzaddikim go even to a higher than that. And the tzaddikim can go and bring a person even a forgiveness for his sin before death. While he's in the world, he can have the forgiveness in this world. Again, you have to believe in the koyach of the tzaddikim. And if you don't know that you're supposed to believe that, we say every morning, Vayaminu b'Hashem u'v'Moshe Avdo. Right? That's why the Anshe Knesset instituted that every morning we have to say, Vayaminu b'Hashem u'v'Moshe Avdo. You have to believe in Hashem, but you have to believe in the koyach of the tzaddikim also. So much so in the 18 blessings of the Shmon Esrei, we say Ala Tzaddikim Ala Chasidim. Mishan Miftach. I have to believe in the Tzaddikim. It's one of the blessings. If you're wondering why are we talking to somebody, well, that's one of the blessings in the Shmon Esrei, right? Even Ashkenazim say it. Everyone says that. Mishan Miftach La Tzaddikim. They believe in the Tzaddikim. Maybe they don't know about it, but they believe in it. Okay, Vizer Chamas Hamelech Malchei Amoves. Look at the words, Chamas. Look at the word, see Chamas?
That's the tough thing.
Yeah, I know. What? It's the same thing. They do it as Samach, I know. The Malach Amoves is also Chamas. See that?
Yeah.
V'ish Chacham Yichaprenu. Right, so the Malach HaMavis, but there's an Ish Chacham that can be mechaper on the Chamas of the Malach HaMavis. See that? Unbelievable. Hainu sheyesh avoyne shegoyrim Chamas HaMelech. It causes anger. Chamas immediately means anger. Okay, it causes the anger of the king. The din, it causes judgment up on high. Chas v'shalom.
They're angels, is plural?
What?
Angels of death? More than one angel of death?
There's
More than one
It says angels, it's plural.
Angel, what?
Malachai Mavis. Is that one?
Melech Malachei HaMavis. Yeah. He's the head one. So he has his messengers. He has his other ones. Huh? He has a staff. Yeah, he has a staff. Okay. Causes anger up on high. It causes anger and din. Until even kapara doesnh help, because it causes such a problem up on high. Like we learned about. Remember, we learned about the metzach harotzon and the metzach hatachton, right? We have the metzach ha'el, right? The upper one that's connected to the keter. The lower one, you have the 24 courthouses. That's where the anger is. Remember we learned about that, right? We have the 24 courthouses. Okay. Ki im malachei amoves. Until the time the Malach HaMavis comes, until the person has kapara, because he gets his because the death brings him the forgiveness. Like the Gemara says, Yom Kippur causes the suspension of the Aveira, but it's only forgiven upon the death. Aval the Ish Chacham Yichaprena, but the Ish Chacham, who's the Ish Chacham? That's the Tzaddik. Right, Ish Chacham. That's why the Sfadim call the Rabbi a Chacham. Right, now you understand why they call him a Chacham, right? The Tzaddik is called the Chacham, right? The Ish Chacham Yichaprenu. Ki HaChacham HaEmes Shehu Bechinas HaTzadikim Amitim Yecholim L'Sakin HaKol Im Yizke Lahamin Bohem BaEmes. But the caveat is, you have to believe in them, truthfully. You have to believe that the Tzaddik can do this. You have to believe, the same way you have to believe in Hashem, you have to believe in the power of the Tzaddikim. You have to believe, and if you believe in the power of the tzaddik, that the tzaddik can help you, the tzaddik can help you. If you don't believe in the tzaddik can't help you. You have to believe in the tzaddik the same way you have to believe in Hashem. Hashem's not going to be with you if you don't if you don't believe in Hashem. The tzaddik can't be with you if you don't believe in. So if you believe in him, so the tzaddik, the great tzaddikim, can even bring us to a place of forgiveness in a higher place than even the Kohen Gadol that went lifnai and lifnim on Yom Kippur. Isn't that an amazing concept? That's a fascinating concept. That the Kohen Gadol was the greatest person of the time. But the tzaddikim are even greater than them. Because the Kohen can bring a person only a suspension of his sin and it'll be dependent on the person's death. But the tzaddik can bring a forgiveness to the person while the person's alive and well. Isn't that amazing? So that's why we have to believe in the koyach of the tzaddikim. And that's the connection why the tzaddikim are connected, the great tzaddikim are connected to the ketoras, because the ketoras can go to that high place, so the tzaddik can go to that high place. If they go to the place of the keter, the crown, in that place where the klipa can't get to, so therefore they can take the light from that place, that's pure light, because no klipa can get there, no husk of impurity can get to that place. They can get the light, and from that place, fashion the light in that place, bring the light down to the person to clean up the person's mind so the person can live on and be well. Mitzvah Hashem, we should all be zeicha to believe in the koyach of the words of the ketoras, and when we say the karbanis and say the karbanis, mamash, like we mean it, and believe that they have a power to help us. The sacrifices have the power to help us. And if we believe in them, and we believe in Hashem, and we believe in the tzaddikim, we'll all have happy lives. Everyone should have a wonderful day. Kol Tuv.